That's seriously. Oh my god. This fucking thing. This motherfucker. All right, people. Not that there's any out there, but suppose it's nice to pretend sometimes. Um, fuck me, dude. Fucking the restart is supposed to restart the application. It crashed the application that captures the screens. Um, why? Because yeah. I'm just gonna compile all the videos into or all the streams into a video, I guess. So there's some context for posterity's sake. Why is this? Oh my god. Oh, it's so stupid. Everything's fucking dumb. I hate everything. I just want to die. It's probably not balanced right now that like it's all fucked because of course, it's all horse. I don't know. I'm just gonna do my thing, I guess. Because fuck else to do. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure shit out. Let's just start over here. Get to your little screen, little man. We're in the social mobilities. We're gonna make some notes. I don't know if I'm even gonna use that now. Who fucking knows? I don't. Guess who doesn't know? I don't know anything. I don't know what I'm doing. Bro. Why is this so huge? No, don't do that. Just make it smaller. That's not the right one. Oh, there you go. I hate everything. I hate everything. I hate everything. Mostly myself. Yeah, I hate everything. Who hates everything? I hate everything. I hate everything. Everything sucks. Why is the scale all wrong? I don't know. I didn't change anything. Okay, whatever. I just live here. We're gonna watch this video.
The Sicilian Sveshnikov is a sharp, strategically rich opening, and it's no surprise that many grandmasters choose the Sveshnikov when they want a dynamic, unbalanced position to fight against e4. We reach the Sicilian Sveshnikov after white opens the game with e4.
It's almost like he's talking to us like we are a child. I don't know if you saw me sucking at chess, but I suck at chess. That's the whole point of trying to learn it. It's because I suck at it. I'm sorry, I'm trying to set up a little notebook here on my little handy dandy thing. Swish. I give it a name. So why not Sveshnikov notes? Since that's literally what it is. I don't know, dude. I don't even know what I'm doing. Fucking stream, I'm not a streamer. I'm just a dumbass. But okay. So, what do we do?
Taking space in the center and preparing to develop rapidly.
Oh god, that's
Black strikes back with c5.
C5.
Controlling d4 and immediately imbalancing the position. This move is known as the Sicilian defense, one of the most fighting responses to e4. White continues to develop and control the center with knight f3. Preparing to open up the game with d4 on the next turn.
Okay.
Black also develops a knight toward the center with knight c6, intensifying the pressure over the d4 square. White is ready for an exciting game by opening up the center with d4. White has now turned the game into the open Sicilian. Lines are opened up to create active piece play and attacking chances. Black cannot allow white to comfortably maintain 2 pawns in the center, so black plays c takes d4.
Okay.
White regains material and centralizes the knight with knight takes d4. Black continues to develop actively with knight f6, attacking white's e4 pawn. At this point, it's important to understand why white can't just gain a quick advantage in the center with knight takes c6, b takes c6, and e5.
Control it.
White invades black's territory and threatens black's knight, but black has the instructive tactic queen a5 check, forking white's king and e5 pawn.
That's
so
what we
black
did
will simply
earlier.
win that pawn on the next turn.
Watch
Returning to the main line after knight f6, white's most popular response is to defend the e4 pawn and develop another knight toward the center with knight c3. We have now reached the critical moment when black commits to the Sicilian Sveshnikov variation with the surprising and double-edged move, e5.
E5. Okay.
This is the key move of the Sveshnikov, and at first sight, it simply looks like a positional mistake. Since black's e5 pawn can never move backwards, the d5 square is a serious weakness, and it also opens up the a2 to g8 diagonal.
So we're trying
So if white can move a bishop to c4, the weak f7 pawn may become a target.
I think we're all trying
As we'll see, things are not so simple, and black is willing to accept some weaknesses to gain active piece play. How exactly should white respond to the Sveshnikov? Knight d to b5 is by far the main line and the only critical test of black's system. If white decides to capture the knight with knight takes c6, after b takes c6, black is ready to play bishop b4, actively developing a piece and pinning the c3 knight. So black will prepare to actively fight in the center with the thematic d5.
Okay, we got to speed him up.
If white decides to retreat the knight with knight f3, white is ready to exploit the weakened light squares with bishop c4, pointing directly at the f7 pawn. But black's active piece play prevents such dreams with bishop b4.
Take that.
Black's dark squared bishop jumps into the action, pinning white's knight and threatening knight takes e4. Black already has a lead in development and should not face any serious problems. If white decides to retreat...
So we get this structure here, then bishop. So if he comes... Second, Jesus Christ. That's probably why they have shorthand. So we take bishop from bishop to a no. What was it? B4. So bishop to B4.
Tonight with knight b3, black's bishop once again puts white's position under pressure with bishop b4, so white certainly cannot claim any advantage. A more aggressive try is knight f5. White's knight invades black's territory and emphasizes another weakness the Sveshnikov pawn thrust e5 created, the d6 square. This move would receive a lot more attention if not for the instructive counterstrike, d5. Knight d6 check is prevented, and black's pawn thrust both attacks e4 and reveals the light-squared bishop's pressure against white's knight on f5. White cannot allow black to maintain this powerful two-pawn center, so white should consider e takes d5. When both sides capture knights with bishop takes f5 and d takes c6, white's last move opened the d file, so black can exchange queens with queen takes d1 check, knight takes d1, and after b takes c6. In keeping with the spirit of the Sveshnikov, black has a compromised pawn structure, but enjoys active piece play. Notice the b and d files are great places to activate the rooks. Black also enjoys a slight lead in development to compensate for the compromised pawn structure, so white's opening has not been a success. Now that we understand why other responses fail to impress, let's dive into the main line of the Sveshnikov with knight d to b5. White is threatening to play knight.
I have no idea. I'm literally this up. Use this weird indentation because I'm a weird person. Oh, that's why it's not working. You can just circle stuff to leave it on here, but it got the move gets switched. Okay, so if knight to b5. So knight at b to b5. Main line. Okay. What do we do? We did this earlier, I think. So.
D6 check when black is forced to surrender the bishop pair. Yep, so black's main response is d6. Preventing knight d6 check, opening up the light-squared bishop, and adding more protection to the central e5 pawn. One drawback of this move is black's dark-squared bishop is restricted, preventing the active bishop b4 ideas we mentioned earlier. The other potential issue is black's pawn on d6 is a backward pawn, which can only be protected by pieces, so this is a long-term weakness for black. At this point, white has some options to consider. The traditional main line has been the natural developing move, bishop g5. One of the main strategies in the Sveshnikov is to try and exploit the weak light squares black's e5 move created, especially the weak d5 square, which is an excellent outpost square for a white knight. White's last move pins black's knight, the key defender of the d5 square, and white is ready to play the crushing knight d5, adding more pressure to the pinned knight and joining the other knight in threatening a deadly fork on c7. The Sveshnikov is all about active play, and black immediately counterattacks white's knight with a6.
Okay, we're not going to be passive.
White's knight on b5 has already moved 3 times in the opening, and now is forced to move for a 4th time with knight a3.
So
White's wandering knight is forced to the edge of the board and is hoping to return to action with knight c4. Black denies white this chance with the pawn thrust b5, gaining space, preventing white's...
Hold on. I was yapping. So we go. A6. Knight moves back. Then we go b5. Okay. So far, so good.
He's using the c4 square, and threatening a fork with b4, all with a single move. We've now reached the standard Sveshnikov position when we can begin to appreciate why both sides are willing to enter this line. If we take a look at the pawn structure, black's backward d6 and a6 pawns can be serious weaknesses, especially if more pieces disappear and we enter an endgame.
That's the only
on the other hand, black has gained time and space on the queen side by chasing white's knight, which started the game on g1 and now finds itself on a3. Black can use this time advantage to focus on active piece play and try to create dynamic attacking chances. White now has 2 typical responses to deal with black's threat of b4. The sharp and aggressive bishop takes f6, or the more cautious knight to d5. Let's first explore white...
Oh shit. Sorry guys. Fucking idiot. Roughly there. Let's see what happens. Will you play? This is not gonna play now. Please play for me, Johnny. Johnny, I was listening. I was being a scholar. I was hitting padding. Something's fucked up. Something's fucked up. God damn it, this motherfucker. I gotta save it. I keep forgetting. I need. Just fucking connect it. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Sorry. I I I did warn you that I'm an idiot.
Bishop takes f6. White gives up the bishop pair to gain greater control of d5 and further weaken black on active piece play. Appreciate why with knight c4. Black is all about active play, and black immediately counterattacks white's knight with a6. White's knight on b5 is
we know that. He moves backwards.
With b4, all with a single move. We've now reached the standard Sveshnikov position when we can begin to appreciate why both sides are willing to enter this line. If we take a look at the pawn structure, black's backward d6 and a6 pawns can be serious weaknesses, especially if more pieces disappear and we enter an endgame.
Yeah.
On the other hand, black has gained time and space on the queen side by chasing white's knight, which started the game on g1 and now finds itself on a3. Black can use this time advantage to focus on active piece play and try to create dynamic attacking chances. White now has two typical responses to deal with black's threat of b4, the sharp and aggressive bishop takes f6, or the more cautious knight to d5. Let's first explore white's most direct idea, bishop takes f6. White gives up the bishop pair to gain greater control of d5 and further weaken black's pawn structure after g takes f6. Before we look at black's main response, g takes f6, what happens if black plays the more natural-looking move?
Hold on. Hold your horses. I fucked up. Okay. So if bishop takes from g6 to f5, if bishop takes f6, okay.
Queen takes f6. Black avoids doubled pawns, but loses critical time after knight d5, attacking the queen and threatening a fork on c7. Black is forced to lose time with the retreating move, queen d8. When white can attack black's advanced queenside pawn structure with the instructive pawn thrust, c4. If black plays b takes c4, white's offside knight returns to the action in the center with knight takes c4. And if black plays b4, white has the powerful response, queen a4. Pouncing on black's weakened light squares on the queen side, when black has fallen behind in development and has lost the typical active play Sveshnikov players seek. After bishop takes f6, black cannot afford to lose time with queen takes f6 and should play the double-edged g takes f6. Black now has doubled f-pawns and an isolated h-pawn, but black prepares to enjoy active counterplay on the newly opened g-file, as well as preparing to play the active counterstrike f5, attacking white's center and trying to open up lines for the two bishops. Black's pawn fork threat of b4 is still in the air, so white takes control of the weakened d5 square with knight d5. White's knight enjoys an excellent outpost, and it looks like black's position is in terrible shape. However, the Sveshnikov is a resilient opening, and in addition to playing bishop g7 and then preparing f5, a popular idea within itself, black can also strike in the center immediately with f5. Black has the bishop pair advantage, so opening up lines for the bishops can promise good counterplay. f5 adds pressure to e4 and clears a square on the a1 to h8 diagonal, which can be beneficial for the dark-squared bishop once it joins that diagonal with bishop g7. If white plays bishop d3, defending the e4 pawn and adding pressure to f5, a common theme in the Sveshnikov is to challenge white's knight on d5, and in similar positions black will sometimes...
Sorry, you don't know yet, I'm retarded. So, and I have no idea what it is. So basically, bishop goes to d3. Okay. Continue, sir.
Sometimes play the move knight e7, trying to exchange white's dominant knight. It's important not to play this move automatically, as white can embarrass black's king with knight f6. Checkmate. Instead of blundering with knight e7, a stronger move is centralizing our light-squared bishop with bishop e6. Black adds pressure to white's knight on d5 and is prepared to play bishop g7, adding protection to the f6 square, when knight e7 may be a future idea to consider. As is typical of the Sveshnikov, both sides enjoy reasonable chances in this interesting, dynamic position. Instead of the sharp bishop takes f6, White may consider playing the more cautious knight d5, adding more pressure to the pinned f6 knight.
So instead of bishop takes, what is it, f6? So he goes knight d5. Okay. Knight d5. Why is this not writing? What the fuck is going on? Is everything breaking today? Everything's just gonna break today. Everything's just gonna fuck up the whole life. What? God damn it! This is why. This is supposed to be like top tier thing. Somehow it's not. It's just fuck. So restart it. Okay. Okay. Let's restart. All right. Oh my god. So I did find out something. That's that lady that was bitching at me earlier. We're gonna go with Blondie here. She seems nice. These women look like the devil. These people, I don't know. They just look like people. I think this is the like god tier guy. So that's what we're gonna go with. We're going with Blondie. She better be nice to me. Or dump her like her friend here. Alright. Sorry. I have to get my notes. You know, I'm not gonna improve. I don't have notes. So that's just the way it is. So instead of bishop, say he goes knight d5. Knight d5. Gotcha.
And enjoying the d5 outpost square.
Yeah,
this approach focuses on a slower paced game when White hopes to stay in control and highlight the weaknesses in Black's position. Black should relieve some pressure and continue to develop with bishop e7. If White plays knight takes e7, Black can respond with knight takes e7. With an exchange of pieces, White has given up some control of Black's weak d5 square, so Black will quickly be able to gain active counterplay in the center. In addition to threatening knight takes e4, Black is ready to strike in the center with d5. In order to keep control of the key d5 square, White's main response is to play bishop takes f6. Black could double the f-pawns with g takes f6, but Black's bishop on e7 would be passively placed, where it would prefer to be on the g7 square, as in the previous line we examined. With this in mind, Black typically responds with bishop takes f6. Once again, we see the typical theme of Black having a potential bishop pair advantage and extra queenside space to compensate for the structural weaknesses. One positional priority to emphasize for White is to bring the offside knight back into the game. White could attack Black's queenside light squares with c4, but a more solid positional idea is to play c3. White is ready to play knight c2, with the idea to centralize the knight with knight e3, adding more control over the central light squares. As always, Black will not sit idly and let White simply take over the game. Black has several ideas as well, including moving the bishop to a more active diagonal with bishop g5, preparing to fight for control of the d5 square with knight e7, and also supporting a potential advance of the b-pawn with rook b8. As we can see, the Sveshnikov does not have a shortage of ideas for both sides to consider.
There's no shortage of ideas in my head.
Playing bishop g5 on move 7 has been the traditional main line, but recently, another move has gained attention at the highest levels of chess. In the 2018 World Championship match, the challenger, Grandmaster Fabiano Coriana, heavily relied upon the move knight d5. Unlike the traditional main line, White tries to prevent Black's counterplay on the queen side with the minority attack a6, b5. Since White is threatening knight c7 check, Black is forced to exchange knights with knight takes d5. And after e takes d5, White is forced a 4 versus 3 pawn majority on the queen side. Black now has a choice where to move the knight. One idea is to play knight e7, g6, posting the knight on the king side. Another interesting idea is to play knight b8. World champion Magnus Carlsen has defended the black side with both knight moves, so this is mostly a matter of taste. Grandmaster Coriana has favored the move A4, and another similar-looking move is the traditional C4. After preventing black's play on the queen side, white focuses on gaining space on that side of the board. Black's idea behind knight b8 is to relocate the knight to d7, preparing to then strike in the center with the now familiar f5, taking space in the center and seeking active play. The Sicilian Sveshnikov is not an opening for players who are worried about pawn structure and want to avoid accepting any positional risks. If you can accept black's backward pawns on d6 and a6 and weaken central light squares, especially d5, the counterplay that the Sveshnikov offers, including a queenside space advantage, potential bishop pair, and active piece play compensates for these weaknesses. If you decide to pick up this sharp, dynamic system from either side, there will be no shortage of interesting ideas to explore. Thanks for exploring the Sicilian Sveshnikov, and best of luck on your future adventures.
Thanks, buddy. You're a nice man. Much nicer than that lady. Hey, look, Blondie. What's up, Blondie? I want to watch the video, though. Oh, I guess that is what we do. Okay, fine. I guess there's not a video every time. Why can't we hear? Something fucked up again. I know it. Oh, I keep forgetting to hit save. No. Everything looks right. No, we're just going to review stuff. Okay, so white has sacrificed. This is all different. There's gotta be another video. Gotta be. This is a weird way they do things. But chess people are smart. Okay. So we're on the second lesson. We click it. Now what's going on? Why is this thing not opening? Fuck. Stuck somewhere. I don't know. Something's not working. Okay, we'll do this. We'll just do this. And we'll go. Okay. Why is all that to 0, first of all? Y'all probably weren't able to hear shit, were you? Of course not. Why is this so fucking dumb? Oh my god. Please just do your thing. Please work. God. What is going on these days? I don't know. I do not know. Graph. Configuration. There's something new on the graph. Okay. Yeah. It refuses. It refuses me. Oh my. It's my life just stupid. And then I gotta figure out how to spell it. QPW. That's nothing. Just dead. Just straight dead. Would this open? Okay. What do you think? I mean, there's another program I can use. I'm sorry. I'm just everything. Everything. This is my normal life, actually. Just so you guys know. This is what I deal with. Everything fucking breaks. I don't know what it is. It's probably because I'm a fucking idiot. I do not do anything right. That's not gonna open either. Oh, thank God. Oh my God. What the fuck are you doing here? Okay. This isn't hooked up. Well, it just went away. Cool. Start. Is it coming back? She's talking to me. I mean, I guess she's probably just like annoying like the last girl, so you know how girls are. They're girls. Girls. um that's concerning. This seems to be working. It uses the same system. So, what's going on? Okay, that all looks right. Why, why the fail, brother? Well, I just like this is probably the dumbest thing in the world to do. Oh, there was an upgrade. No, no, never mind. Now what if I do it? I don't know. Fuck. Fuck my life. Okay, there's one thing we can do. We can go here, and then we can go. Nope. 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 Everything sucks. Life sucks. Everybody should die. Um, something I'm probably gonna get copyrighted. Do 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 do. Can you hear me? Oh my god. This is so fucking stupid. What the fuck, dude? Everything goes wrong. Everything. Just everything. My processor's on fire. I should just maybe trying to do something with my life. That was exciting was the worst idea ever. So sync needs to go here. Yata and Yalta. And then we need to make some noise with something here. Just whatever else let's listen to. This stuff. Pretend it's nothing. Now it's just like fucked everything up. What the fuck? Disconnect from this. Okay, we're gonna get copyright strict. I don't know how this program works, okay? That's why I use the one that I use. Oh, is it just okay, thank God. Is it working? Connect and listen. Oh my God. You piece of shit. Whatever. Okay. Fucking works. It works. I think. It works for now. This is so fucking dumb, dude. Alright. Now. I'm gonna know how to spell this guy's name very well. Okay. This is where we're at. No, we're not. Okay, that's working. Ah, fuck, I closed the whole thing. I'm an idiot. Ah! Alright, I'm just gonna fucking restart the computer.